Welcome back guys to another video, and in this video, as promised, I'm going to cover small towns in Victoria that you can consider in 2026. Now, a big disclaimer in this video is that I personally don't actually invest into small town locations, generally because that is beyond my risk appetite, but if I had to, these are some of the locations that I would consider, and I highly recommend you do your own due diligence, make sure it fits your strategy, your appetite, and your risk and your goals. It is so important that you do this step. Now, to qualify for this list, there had to be certain conditions in place because I don't just invest willy-nilly into anywhere just like most BAs do. So there are some criteria. Now, for this purpose of this video, the towns and the locations had to have a population of less than 20,000 people. So they are genuinely small towns. Secondly, they had to be economically diversified. No single mining towns, no just purely agricultural locations, just no single industry locations. And the reason for that is I'm trying to minimize the possibility that if that certain industry was impacted, that it would be detrimental to that town or that location. Because I always like to look at things from a long-term perspective. Now, with all of that said, let's get straight into the video with the first location. Now, the first location I want to talk to you guys about is Portland. Now, this is a very nice sort of coastal location. It is a decent sized location. It is relatively close to the major regional hub of Warrnambool, and that has been performing extremely well. We look at a location like Portland and we look at the economic diversity. It's mainly into healthcare, manufacturing, retail, trade, construction, and it's fairly economically diversified. And when we start to look at the regional exports, and we start to look at the exports, we can see that it is mainly tied to manufacturing. That is what this location produces. But overall, in terms of employment diversification, it's definitely there into the relevant sectors. Of course, a lot of these sectors will cross trade with them, as with small towns it does, like manufacturing into construction, transport, postal warehousing, etc. But in this location, you can find decent properties like this one here. It's an older weatherboard style house sold on the 3rd of March for around $470,000. A decent property nonetheless on a corner block right near the coast. Definitely could do with some work here and there, but it still looks in acceptable condition nonetheless. And something like this you can pick up for under $500,000 in a nice little coastal location. And so that's the first one I want to talk to you guys about. And before I do head into the others, you will generally see a trend. You'll find the employment diversification is quite diversified, but the export side of things is going to be mainly tied to sort of one, either manufacturing, agriculture, or mining, just because even though the town from an employment perspective might be diversified, what it produces is certainly limited because of the size of the location and what they do there. But if Portland isn't on your watch list, have it on your watch list now. If you haven't already, jump into the private community, guys. This is the best community, the best Australian property community out there for you guys to get your questions answered about any suburb, any property deal, any complications you're having with SMSF purchases, with mortgage brokering issues. This is the community and we can help you guys. So if you have any questions, jump in the community because we talk about these locations every single day on a daily basis, and you guys are missing out. It costs cheaper than a family bucket at KFC, guys, and you're making $500,000 to $1 million decision. Don't make it without the right advice, the right people to help you, and you don't need to pay 15 to 25K to a BA. And even if you are, jump in the community, cross-reference your decisions, and get the help you need. Let's get back into the video. Now, the next location I want to talk to you guys about is Sale. Now, Sale is actually quite close to the wider Latrobe region, and hence it's actually a decent location to consider. It's got a decent sized population. It is once again a smaller town, but there are plenty of opportunities here. And when we start to look at the data, it's around 600K median buy price with around a 4% yield. And you start to scroll down, 10% growth over the past 12 months, and stock levels are falling. Demand is decent. It's definitely not as strong as other locations across Australia. It's around 63 days for properties to be sold. So just outside of your metrics, but it's something that could be one for you guys to consider. Vacancy rates are less than 2%. That's good to see. And affordability is well under 35 years, which again is another tick of approval. And with the way stock levels are falling, I wouldn't be surprised if prices continue to rise over the next 6 to 12 months in this location. And when you look at the economy of Sale, you can see once again fairly diversified into healthcare, retail, trade, education, aviation training, construction, and more. And when you look at the exports, you can see that a significant portion of it is tied to mining. However, when I did do more research into SAIL, it's a lot more tied to production towards gas, electricity, gas, water services, manufacturing, and construction, and less actually into mining per se. So that's something a little bit you can verify with the locals on the ground and you can do further due diligence into. But the overall employment diversification is still good enough for us to consider. Of course, assess it against your own risk appetite, guys. And this is sort of ranked higher on my list, I would say, generally because it's a little bit closer towards the Latrobe economy into areas like Traralgon, Morwell, and Moe, which is definitely a good side to see. There is a bit of a renewal, green energy transformation happening in SAIL, which you can do further due diligence into as well. And you can pick up nice brick assets for around 500 to 550 to 600k in this location. Definitely nothing spectacular or amazing, but you know what, for 500k these days it's a bit hard to complain, and this is not a bad asset nonetheless in a nice small town location that you can consider. Now this next location, I feel like you guys have heard about me talk about this one before, and it is Ararat. Now Ararat is showing growth over the past 6 to 12 months. It's going to continue to grow. I know there's other big BAs buying in Ararat, other property groups buying in Ararat, which is causing house prices to even jack up even further, but for good reason as well. It's a good location, under 500k median buy price with high yields around 5%. There has been more growth than just about 5% over the past 12 months, which is great to see. And stock levels are falling, demand is relatively high, and affordability is still very strong within this location for you to consider. And when you look at Ararat's economy, very well diversified into healthcare, construction, agriculture, public admin, and safety, as well as when you look at the exports, it's mainly skewed towards manufacturing and agriculture. But once again, like we always say, employment diversification is good, which is a great positive. The exports is always going to be a bit more skewed with these smaller regional locations. And in this location, you can pick up a decent weatherboard house sold on the 20th of April 2026. Nice, decent interior. Doesn't look like it needs much work. Sort of ready to go asset for around $412,000. Some are more expensive, some are cheaper. This is a decent asset to consider if you're looking at a smaller town. Now, this asset is also relatively close to Ballarat and then also to Melbourne. So not a bad location to consider for a small town. And by the way, guys, I am speed running this video a little bit because I want you guys to watch the whole video and not just a part of it. And I don't want to go into too much detail of each suburb. I'll break it down further into the location if you want me to. Just let me know in the comments. The next location I want to talk to you guys about is good old Horsham. Now, Horsham, like Ararat, is a location I've covered before. It is growing immensely, but it's a small town that you could consider according to your risk strategy and profile. Once again, around 500 or under $600,000 median buy price with around 4 to 5% yields. Fairly good. It's done a lot of growth over the past 12 months, around 13%, but there is still room for it to grow in terms of affordability because it's well under 30 years, which is what we want to see. Overall stock levels are good. It's a little bit slow on the downward trend, but demand is still pretty high with properties being sold in about 50 days or so. Some good properties are being sold within weeks in this location. So definitely this location should be on your watch list. And from an economic diverse perspective, it's solid with no sector taking up more than 25%. Now, Horsham is a bit more of an agricultural location with production in electricity, gas as well, and some cross-stream services into manufacturing and construction. So it's still a relatively economically diversified location. It's a smaller town in the out west of Victoria, but it's growing in value and it's growing fast, guys. So if Horsham isn't on your list, which it should have been already if you've been following my videos, then it should be again because it is a location that you can consider if you are looking for smaller locations and smaller towns. And something like this you can pick up for $470,000, a very nice brick home. I do think this was sold a little bit cheap. I'm not too sure why. Maybe there was something wrong with BNP. I thought it would be sold higher, to be quite frankly honest, but especially for the amount of land space available on it. But nonetheless, under $500,000, very nice brick home, perfectly rentable, a great home for you guys to consider and at a great price point. And now this next location I haven't talked about before on my YouTube channel, I believe, don't quote me on that, but Maryborough in Victoria is another location that should be on your watch list. It is relatively close to Bendigo. It's relatively close to Ballarat. It's sort of in between location. It's close to a location called Castlemaine that has properties in the $800,000 region, and Maryborough should be on your list for a smaller town location in Victoria. Around $500,000 median buy price with around 4 to 5% yield is what I've seen in the market. Prices are growing, and as Victoria picks up more steam, it's going to likely to grow even further. Stock level over the past couple of months has been been falling rapidly. Demand has been rising, with most properties being sold within 60 days or so. Vacancy is incredibly tight, around 0.36%. So that is a positive sign for us to see from a rental market pressure perspective. Affordability a little bit stretched. It's now above 35-year mark, which is, I would say, a little bit concerning for a smaller town, but it's just within acceptable threshold ranges, I would say, for you guys to do further due diligence into and double check against your risk appetite. Once again, it follows the same pattern of being economically diversified and then also being tied towards manufacturing and a little bit of healthcare in this location. And an asset you can pick up there is something like this, a decent brick home, 4x2, 816 square meters of land. Look, the home's not perfect, definitely in the older side, could do with some new carpets, got disability showers, etc. But a decent corner block asset, decent amount of land space, acceptable from a lot of metrics and points of view. Not the most perfect asset, but nonetheless something you can consider for under $500,000. So Maryborough, if it's not on your watch list, should be now. All right. The next location I want to talk to you guys about is Burnsdale. Now, Burnsdale is once again one of those small towns in Victoria that is really picking up some steam over the past 12 months or so. And when we look at the data behind Burnsdale, we can see that the median buy price is around $500,000 with yields of close to 5%, and in some cases above 5% as well. And when we start to scroll down, you can see that over the past 12 months, there's been about 5% growth, and in some properties, there has been more. The fundamentals are quite good with an ersatz score of 2 and the rented to owner occupier ratio of 33%. Affordability is also very good, under 35 years, which means there's room to grow. Now, I'm going to be quite honest with you. With this suburb, the stock on market doesn't paint the best picture with 0.41% and 19 listings, and the stock levels have been rising over the past couple of months. However, inventory levels are still low, around 1.26 months, and demand is actually picking up, with properties being sold under 37 days. So as this trend continues, more stock will be absorbed and prices will continue to rise, and I think it will. And vacancies rates is also pretty tight, under 2%, around 1.5, which means it's a fairly tight rental market in that location as well. And once again, it is a very diversified location into healthcare, retail trade, education training, and more, with no sector taking up more than 25%, as mentioned, like the entire video. And when we look at exports, it's mainly tied to manufacturing, electricity, gas production, and construction, with a lot of those are being cost stream services as well in that location. And so a property they can get there is something like this. Once again, it's a little bit of a corner block, a nice property, good interior, sold for $560,000 with around 800 square meters of land. So a nice, simple property at an affordable price point that you guys can purchase in a decent small town market. And so Burnsdale should be on your watch list if it isn't already. And now I have one more location for you guys, and I hope you really enjoyed this video because I've put a lot of effort into researching these locations, deep diving them, and putting this into a summary video for you guys to be able to learn and understand. So make sure you hit the like button, guys, and leave a comment below as well to help boost this video to more and more investors. And so the last location I want to go over is Swan Hill, guys. Now, Swan Hill, once again, small town, quite far away from the CBD of Melbourne. It is a little bit in the middle of nowhere, right on the border of Victoria and New South Wales. It's very close to Mildura, close to Shepparton and that region as well. And this location is showing promise for a small town. And when we look at the data, it's around a $600,000 median buy price, a little bit high for my liking. I like under 500,000. The yield's around 4%. You can find higher, and it's been a very consistent performer over the past 30 years. It's been consistently performing with no major cyclical downturns. Over the past 12 months, there's 6% growth, and we scroll down, the stock levels are acceptable, 0.25%, inventory only 1.15 months, and demand is rising in this location with properties being sold less than 40 days. Building approvals is a little bit higher than the other locations we talked, around 1%, but once again, vacancies are super tight. The whole period is 11 years, which means people hold on to their assets here, and it's a good location to consider with affordability sitting under 35 years. So from a data perspective, it's all looking schmick. And when we start to look at the data behind it, or the economic diversity, it's mainly tied to agricultural, forestry, healthcare, retail trade, no real mining exposure, which is great to see. And likewise, you're going to see the exports mainly tied to agricultural, manufacturing, and construction, with a lot of cost stream services as well. And in a location like this, you can find this nice, neat, and tidy property, a weatherboard home sold for less than 500K, decent interior, perfectly rentable as is. It's been recently renovated, you can tell, on a relatively quiet street. Overall, something like this is an amazing property for you guys to consider if you're looking at small town locations. And so I hope this video has really helped you guys determine what locations, what small towns you can consider in Victoria in 2026. I tried extremely hard to find good locations that you guys can consider that aren't actually talked about on a daily basis on YouTube channels by BAs for small towns. But I do want to reaffirm, guys, do your due diligence about these locations. These locations are very small, less than 20,000 population. They can be pumped by investors. And also, if any major economic changes happen, these towns can be impacted. So you do need to watch these towns every 12 to 24 months just to see if any major impacts, changes are happening in these locations and adjust accordingly. Therefore, investors with higher risk appetite, high yield opportunities, low budget opportunities, but you have to be smart about where you put your money. So if you have any questions about any of these locations, put them down in the comments below and do yourself a favor, jump in the community, guys, get the help you need. Breakdown deal reviews, suburb reviews, there's resources, templates, guidance, all available for you. We have over 250 members helping each other out on a daily basis. There's practical guidance, there's private mentorship, all for $35 a month, a subscription service which you can cancel anytime. Try it out for 1 month, you won't regret it. Till next time, thank you very much.